The Wooden Railway Originals of Thomas and Friends, Episode 118. Emily makes Mr. Percival happy. It was holiday time on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were working happily. Except for Emily. Why should I always do Ned's dirty work as well as my own? Stepney and Rosie should do it. I'm too busy. Doc was cross. Emily, why don't you think about something else for a change? You'll feel much better if you do. Doing my own work is the only thing for me to think about. Huh, said Emily. A little while later, back at Allsbury Yards, Stepney and Rosie were chatting. Then they heard a familiar buzzing. That airplane is making a great deal of noise, said Rosie to Stepney. Oh yeah, that plane, said Stepney. His name's Tigermont, and it's flying around to tell everyone about the carnival that's arriving at the Farquhar. Then Duck arrived. What are you two doing here? He asked. Sir Topham Hatt wants us to deliver a special load from the harbor. And I think it has something to do with the fair. You don't say, said Duck. And Stepney and Rosie set off. Meanwhile, Emily was still busy shunting cars at Allsbury Yards. Just as Duck, Stepney, and Rosie left. Then, Emily saw Caroline with Mr. Percival on board. Thank you, Caroline. You can drop me off here, sighed Mr. Percival. Anytime, Mr. Percival. He looks miserable. What's wrong? Asked Emily. It's my brother. He said he's out of town and can't come to hang out with me. I was so looking forward to his visit. Sir Topham Hatt soon heard the sad news. I'll send Bulgy to take him around the island, said Sir Topham Hatt. Soon Bulgy arrived. Hop aboard, Mr. Percival, said Bulgy. Compliments of Sir Topham Hatt, of course. Thank you so much, said Mr. Percival, and he climbed aboard. Emily was sad that she didn't, then, and, and, and that you still have to do her work as well as Ned's. But she was happy for Mr. Percival. As soon as Stephanie and Rosie arrived at Nafford Harbor, they saw the special delivery. Rosie was shocked, but she knew it wasn't real. "It's alright," said Stephanie. "It's just a Chinese dragon. It's made of paper." "For the carnival." I don't believe it. That's our special delivery," said Rosie. "Yes, it is," said Stephanie. It really is going to be an exciting fair. "It is indeed," said Emily. "And Sir Topham has said that I can stop doing Ned's work and go to Tidmouth Station. Something for Mr. Percival." "Well, what do you think of that?" said Rosie. Emily arrived at Tidmouth Station. Old Slowcoach was already there, along with Mr. Percival and Sir Topham Hatt. "Now this is your very special treat," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Emily will take you on a mystery ride, and I will meet you there." "All right," said Mr. Percival. He hopped on board Old Slowcoach, and Emily set off. Emily took Mr. Percival along his favorite coastal route to Farquhar. Soon Emily arrived at Farquhar. "Wow," said Mr. Percival. "You brought me to the carnival. How wonderful." "You were quite right, Duck," said Emily happily. And then they watched the fun of the fair.